I have made a lesson plan based on the book Holes, which is written by Louis Satcher. The target group for the lesson plan is 6th graders, and the lesson is an introduction to reading and working with the book. Ellis and Brewster find it important for a book to challenge and teach the pupils. And that is why I believe Holes is a good choice. It's a way of expanding the pupils' imagination because of its interesting and exciting events, and because it's amusing at the same time. And the language is appropriate for 6th graders, but also challenging enough. The activities I have planned for this lesson are varied, both with different activities, but also with different structures. The pupils have read from chapter 1 through 4, and this lesson is based on these 4 chapters of the book. The teacher hands out the paper with the question to each pupil to answer in writing, and first and foremost, doing that individually. But with the exception that some experience difficulties with reading comprehension and may work in pairs. Ellis and Brewster mentioned that writing activities are good practice for forming sentences and learning the rules of writing. And the questions that they will answer are: what characters have you met so far? What do you know about them? Motivate your answer with using the book. How is Camp Green Lake being presented? What do you know about it? Motivate your answer with using the book. What has happened so far in the book? And is the book detailed? Motivate your answer with using the book. For answering these questions, the pupils are, as understood, expected to use the book. And this is a way of scaffolding them with help, but also for them to show me that they have read and comprehended the chapters so far. Dictionaries are available during both activities, since the teacher has in mind that the pupils' vocabulary varies. The second activity contains group discussions with questions written on the whiteboard. The class is divided into smaller groups and are to discuss the questions while everyone raises their own opinion and contribute to the discussion. Therefore, everyone is required to participate in the discussion. According to Ellis and Brewster, speaking in a second language in class is usually initiated by the teacher, and as it is in this case. The questions are: the terms bad luck and curse are relevant in the book. What do you think about these? Is there something as bad luck and being cursed? And is it easy to predict what will happen next in the book? What do you think about the following events? Compare your reflections with each other. As Bo mentions, they provide each other with support, and they have the opportunity to complete each other by discussing and reflecting together. During this activity, the usage of the book is optional. Bo also mentions that by engaging in the activity, the teacher encourages the pupils to interact with each other for increased communication and improved cooperation. During the discussions, the teacher listens to the groups and takes notes. Towards the end of the lesson, a teacher-led summary is planned, where the groups join together and raise something they found the most important from their discussion, while the others listen and the teacher asks further questions if felt necessary. So in this part, it's only probably one or two pupils speaking, but this is not a moment where they all have to show that they have that they are able to speak in the whole class, because the teacher has already made sure that everyone had participated during the group discussions. After hearing every group, the class has automatically made a joint summary and the teacher is ready to conclude the lesson. As Schmidt mentions, with both writing and speaking exercises, one develops its vocabulary. Learning and increasing vocabulary is the best way of mastering a second language. The teacher explains what the pupils have accomplished with the lesson and how the rest of the work with the book will unfold. One can use the book in cross-curricular while working with art, and the questions that the pupils have received for this lesson are about the characters and the camp, for example, and the pupils could therefore also draw pictures related to the questions. And their perceptions will presumably be different, which makes it interesting to also find out how the pupils thought that the characters and the camp looked. Therefore, they get to put their perceptions in both words but also drawings, which is good practice for their imagination. The book connects to the aim of art since it gives the pupils the opportunity to develop and present their own drawings with using different methods. Ellis and Brewster explain how variation will appeal to learners with different qualities. Therefore, it is also relevant that the activity helps the pupils develop their creativity and communicate by expressing themselves as they want through the drawings. According to Schmidt, a well-made plan and good materials will not be enough to go through with if the pupils are not motivated. This cooperation between English and art is helpful for engaging them. Now it's time for me to summarize this presentation. My lesson plan was an introduction to the book Holes, where the pupils are expected to have read the first 4 chapters of the book. The lesson is divided into 2 different activities and 1 summary that is made in the whole class. I find this lesson plan varied and a good way of reaching out to different kinds of pupils. There are many ways to work with the book, and these are the ones I found the most suitable and fulfilling for the pupils' further development. I find it important for a teacher to be able to stimulate every pupil in the way that suits them the best. Everyone has their own needs and should be supported by the teacher, and I have therefore used different types of scaffolding to meet with the pupils. I hope you have enjoyed this presentation and lesson plan, and thank you for listening.